I was in the middle of recording something that clicked off. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so I had to get on YouTube Studio and do it. What I was saying was they send these kids to city jail, and they bring them in. They don't even have no idea about methadone. They say, hey, I'm doing drugs. Now, number one, you don't even have to piss dirty to get the people to give you methadone in city jail. I had went from Towson Detention Center to city jail and told them I'm getting high, and they say, oh, well, you came from Towson. I said, well, I was on work release, and I was copping on work release, and blah blah blah. And they gave me methadone and Librium and Klonopin and Clonidine and Finnegan's in there. I mean, I know all the little, ins and outs of getting drugs in jail from a doctor. It's pretty easy in city jail. It's pretty easy in Towson. I don't know about any other ones because I haven't really been in any more detention centers than that, but in prison. And then these kids are 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. They give them methadone, and then they figure out what it is. They come home, and they go right to the methadone program. This is, this is where you have them kids that are drug dealers. Their morals and principles are they'll never do dope. But guess what? The jail actually started them into being a dope addict. And then they'll come home and say, well, the methadone is prescribed by a doctor, so it's okay. And then now we got this pandemic, which is the same thing as this coronavirus thing, where all these little kids are eating pills, getting high, eating perks, killing people, shooting everything up. I mean, I live in the 4x4 in Baltimore. They shoot people all the time. I hear gunshots outside of my house, busting bottles in the street because all these kids are getting high, and the jails are getting them high. In the jail, they're having fun getting high. They're giving it to them, drinking methadone. And the only people that can profit off of these methadone programs in jails are the people in the government. And, getting back to saying, your morals, values, and principles. Morals, values, and principles are something that you learn over time. You don't have these values, morals, and principles or beliefs when you're born. You earn them. You think it. You have values to look nice in clothes when you're a kid. You have values that, say, I'm always early for work, or I'm never late for work, or I have good work ethic. All these values, morals, and principles, they will change over time. You'll start to say, you know what, well, because of the methadone program, I'm not going to be early for work. Because of the methadone program, I need gas, so I'm not going to buy a nice hat or something. I just bought this hat. It's pretty cool. And then, I'm going to leave my kid at home when I go to the methadone program. These are all morals, values, and principles that we throw away for the methadone program, and it is sickening. And these methadone programs condone it. They like it. They're okay with it. You go to a methadone program and ask them, listen, I don't know if I said this in the last video, but you can go up in milligrams in 2 days, but you can't go down in milligrams in a month. You tell them, and they won't take you down. They will only take you up. You can't go on vacations. You can't go to California. You can't do any of these things on the methadone program. It's like some states and cities, they have the methadone program in phases. It's called phases. Like you're in phase 1 in 60 days, and phase 2 is 6 months. Maryland is one of the states that you can get on methadone maintenance, and that's forever. They put you on 80 milligrams of methadone, which you don't need, because I've been on methadone many a times, and the first 30 milligrams they give you gets you plenty enough to sleep and all that. But, in the other states, it's like, I don't know which states have it. I would like some of y'all to answer me if y'all are in different states. What state are you in? How much, are you allowed to be on a methadone program for 3 months? Are you allowed to be for 6 months? Will they take you up and wean you off? Do they have methadone maintenance? What is in the other states? Are they trying to pass laws? I'm sure they're trying to pass laws to where they can give it to you indefinitely, because then these doctors that are prescribing it and these companies can make extra that money will just keep coming in until we finally die from being old, and we were on the methadone program the whole time, and JoJo's pharmaceutical companies made $2 million off of you drinking methadone. I mean, think about that. Do you want somebody to make millions of dollars off of you drinking methadone in your lifespan? I don't. I do not want that. So it's really sickening. And you know, I want some people to watch this video to look into videos about universal consciousness, opening your third eye, and star seeds. All three of these different kind of videos made me kind of like see the world in a different way. Not saying I believe all this goofy shit they talk about, like you're bright as a light and you're shining like a star and all that, but as far as like the people that are born and the more intelligent people, a lot of people have like addiction problems and things like that, and every single thing that they said on these videos, I was part of one of them things. Every single one of these things, they touched my personality perfect. And for me to like I was the guy that everybody was talking about, oh, he's gonna die, he's running around, he's crazy, blah blah blah. If you look at some of my old videos, I look like Skeletor, straight look like a crazy looking lunatic running around Bel Air Road making videos. And I'm happy that I made them videos, because it gets me to make me look back on what I used to do and how I used to act and what I used to look like. And that can give I like to help people. If anybody has questions on what I did, if I meditated, how I meditated, the things that I thought about, the things that I, the way that I looked at my beliefs and actually knew that my beliefs were, I didn't believe it was okay to be dirty. I didn't believe it was okay to, eat out of a dumpster. I didn't believe these things were okay. And that's, once I tapped into my consciousness a little bit more, I figured out how to change it. I was like, look, I don't believe that, so why am I going to do it? If you don't believe something, don't do it. If you don't core belief deep down inside, a core belief is something that you know to be the truth without questions. That's the definition of core belief. Value is something you take value in to be president over another thing, and morals are principles that you live by, and principles are morals that you live by. Beliefs are different. Core belief is something that you hold to be the truth beyond question. Now, them things you have to think about. Think about what you believe. If you believe, when your mother told you to wash your hands after every meal, or your mother told you to brush your teeth, do you believe it's okay not to do that? Do you believe it's okay to take your shoes off and they smell like cat piss? Do you believe that it's okay to do these things? No, you don't believe it. So if you don't believe it, you shouldn't do it. And that's what methadone makes you do. It gets all the way down to them beliefs, but it cannot get down into your core beliefs. The things you believe inside, you cannot change. They will never change. What you believe to be true will never change. A core belief. A regular belief might change. If you're really far into addiction, it might change. And it's harder to change a belief than it is to change a moral value or a principle. So you got to think about that. And that's it. But I want to get some feedback on what people think about methadone programs in different states, and what do they think about them in general. What do they think about Suboxone and methadone? I will give Suboxone's a lot better than methadone, because methadone, you can get on methadone and smoke crack and still be well, and you can just do all this crazy stuff. On Suboxone, it has some kind of antidepressant in it that makes you like have a more of a positive attitude. It seems, and you don't have to actually go to the methadone program every day to get these things, and that's that's a little better. And that's how I got off with everything. Is I went from the methadone program, went to jail for some few days, got out, used Suboxone when I got out, and then just said, you know what, I don't need none of this shit, because I was at work and I had to go to my Suboxone doctor and blase, and I was just like, you know what, do I believe it's okay to leave work? No, I don't believe it's okay to leave work. And I just wound up not taking them anymore either. But it wasn't easy. It's taken 25 years to do it, and I got a lot of information, a lot of things about it, but I can't really come off of it with the top of my head, so I need some questions. Thanks, y'all. See ya. Push the little subscribe button and the like button, and if you got a YouTube station, show me your YouTube station, and I'll come and watch your videos, whatever. So I'm trying to help people. I'm not doing this for myself. Well, actually I am. Inevitably, everything you do is always for yourself. So I am doing it for myself, my own well-being, my own personal gain, to learn and seek knowledge from other people, but I'm doing it to help people. So You know, listen.